period from the 19th to the 20th century, and that includes things like the proper and moral justifications for war. And part of the problem is that for 3 years now, the Allies, to name just one example, the Central Powers were doing similar things, had made the war aims out to be these high-minded ideals, right? The war to end all wars, or making the world safe for democracy, or fighting, German militarism. I mean, there were all these very high-minded ideals. So when you sell people on those ideas, when they find out that really what those soldiers are dying for is much more pedestrian, sorts of aims, it's hard to square those two realities. In fact, there were nations involved in the First World War that essentially had joined sides with, the alliance that promised them the best outcome. Italy, Bulgaria, Romania, to name just 3 countries, got into this war for no other reason than, one side or the other promised them some territorial gain that was more than the other side promised them. That was a very common reality from the 19th century. Part of what changed that and made it unacceptable was the price that Europe was being forced to pay for these territorial acquisitions. I mean, a perfect example is 20 years before this time period. Instead of 1917, late 1917, imagine you're in 1898, and you're the British Army in an area that's going to become part of, colonial, the territories that you have direct or indirect control over in the modern nation of Sudan. There was a very big battle called Omdurman fought in 1898. Winston Churchill was there as a very young man, his first real exposure to violence. Killed a couple of people in that battle. Omdurman had about 8,000 or so British troops, and then they had a bunch of allies of theirs from Egypt and places like that. Natives is not the right word, because you think of tribesmen, but troops from Egypt. And they were fighting people who were kind of tribesmen, a bunch of Sudanese under a leader in that country. More than 50,000 of them show up to this battle against this small group of British allies. And using modern weaponry, including basically machine guns, modern rifles. I mean, it's essentially a beta version of the First World War Army that Britain goes to war with, and they're fighting guys who have muskets practically. And in one afternoon, they inflict some 30,000 or more casualties on the tribesmen and folks that they're facing. 10,000 dead, 5,000 captured, the rest wounded. And the British lose 45 to 50 British soldiers in that 45 to 50. And they just demolish this native force. When you're only losing that number of people for such great gains, sometimes you don't always think too much about the deeper questions involved in the cost, because the cost isn't that great. And let's be honest, in this era, if those British soldiers had been wiping out Frenchmen or Germans or Swedes or people like themselves, there might have been more of an outrage. It was an era where sometimes the killing of native peoples in other places was not given the same sort of sense of horror and outrage that killing people who looked like yourself.